Cavalier fans, young and old, welcome out to the Cleveland Pulse YouTube channel. It's your normal Tuesday crew. This might be going up on a Wednesday. It's not Cavs encapsulated, but as you could tell by the thumbnail, it is a three-man Cavs fantasy draft of all time. We're going to get right into it. Obviously, Justin is here. Logan is here. And the spin on this one is that we're going to be drafting anybody who has ever played in a Cavs uniform, but we are receiving that player when they were in the prime of their career. So it's not like we're drafting a player who is with the Cavs and that's how, like their skill set will be. It is going to be them in their prime. It is going to be interesting. We have Logan starting us off with the first overall pick. Logan, talk about some strategy. Talk about what we're doing here in the first round as far as making it even with all of our first round picks.
Well, the first part of the strategy, guys, you got to dress for success when it's something as big and monumental.
He got us.
Yeah, I think the strategy, we're all going to get a LeBron, right? But it's the snake draft. If anybody who's not aware yet what a snake draft is, the last person that picks in that round gets the first pick of the next round, essentially. So if you're that third pick and you get your two players you want, you're not going to get the player you want realistically at your next pick. So there's definitely a lot of strategy involved. I think in this situation, you have to fill your starting lineup. I think we'll see how many bench pieces we can get, honestly, as we go. We thought about 3. We'll see how many people we have. A lot of good point guards that have played, a lot of years in Cleveland or, half a season. But at the end of the day, they're counted in this draft. So it's going to be a deep draft. It's going to be interesting. And, I'm ready when you guys are.
Yeah, Justin has been saying he's not going to draft a very good team. And I'm just throwing that out there before we keep going. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit that bell notification. We're so close to 500 subscribers. We appreciate every single one of you being Cleveland sports fans. But this is not going to be easy. If you want to roast us in the comments, if you want to say we stink in the comments, that's fine. Tell us who you would have picked. But Justin, how are you feeling?
Not great. Honestly, you look at Logan, you're like, that man's ready to go. He's got the basketball knowledge that's going to get him through this draft. He's going to draft deep. He's going to know how to move pieces around. And you got Jeff, who knows, he goes out and he looks for things. He looks and he finds it and he gets what he wants. And then there's me, where I'm just going to kind of go with the flow and kind of see what I can do. Draft dudes that I like, that I know of, and then kind of just go from there. Honestly, want to do a little bit more research, but going to go off of what I have and, just try to – I picked that nice little – I picked the 2 spot. I like the little being able to get my guys where I want. I think the first 3 picks of our teams will all be, fairly good for the most part, and then we will start to, really have to move around and go off of what everyone else is doing. That's always the fun part, is going off of what someone else may do. So I'm interested to see what Jeff does after he picks his LeBron.
Well, round 1, Logan, start us off.
With the first pick in the 2022 Cavs Encapsulated Fantasy Draft, Team Logan selects the 2017-2018 LeBron James.
Good.
The reason I'm taking him is I think he's the best basketball player I've ever seen. I was very drawn to the 2012-2013 of LeBron, but at the end of the day, both these guys could shoot very well this season. I don't know why I'm talking like they're 2 separate people. They're both LeBron James and they're both amazing. But the clutch factor, the team he led in 2017, 2018 versus the team he led in 2012, 2013, a lot is said for that. I think he's the ultimate leader. This is the number 1 pick.
Yeah, that's who I wanted to. So, Justin, you have 09 to 10 LeBron or 12-13 LeBron left.
Well, with the second pick, I'm going to go with the 2012 and 2013 Miami Heat LeBron James. Obviously, Logan was talking about how good he was with the Cavs in his last run here. However, I think his Miami run is possibly the most physically dominating he's ever been, and I think physically imposing his will onto other teams. He may not have been, as much of a carrying leader as he was with that 2017-2018 Cavs, but I think physically that's the best version of LeBron you're going to get, and I think that's just what I got to go with.
It's really where LeBron came into his own, right? In 2012, 2013, where he established I'm the guy.
Yeah.
Well, that has made it. I feel like that has made it a little bit harder for me. Not because, well, I might have took 09, 10 anyway. But I feel like having the third pick now, so I'm locked into 09, 10 LBJ. Obviously, still a freak athlete. No one's complaining about that pick. Obviously, that's why we made the first round like that. Now, here is the issue: the second round.
This is where I'm interested to see what Jeff does.
I'm going to put my strategy out there because I'm going first. So I have 09 to 10 LeBron. So you have to think that that might be the worst shooter version of him. Not that he was bad, but I feel like he was probably a better shooter in the other two forms we have him in. So I have to pick somebody who's not I feel like the easy pick is Shaq. But if I'm thinking about it, 09, 010 LeBron, I don't know how the floor spacing is working if Shaq is out there. And I'm not bringing Shaq off the bench. So I'm going to go with the safe pick, and I'm going to take prime Dwayne Wade in the second round for chemistry issues.
No!
I know they're going to play good together. I know they're going to play good together.
That was going to be the whole thing with taking Miami LeBron was the chemistry.
See, now I already beat you there. I went back in the time machine and I snuck them in. So Justin's going to have to totally recalculate now with the second pick in round 2.
Well, players as we're going.
That really... Honestly, that was my whole idea with taking Miami LeBron. I thought that Logan was going to really consider taking Miami LeBron for the same reason. I was thinking, hey, it's a pretty obvious pick dependent on how you feel about these players and their versions in terms of LeBron. And Jeff just made a perfect, reasoning for why he didn't want to go get Shaq. But 2012, 2013 LeBron, a little bit better of a shooter than he was in 09.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll make the easy pick. I'll go with Shaq in his prime, and I lock up my center. I got a pretty good defensive feeling here right now with my first two guys. And Logan, I've now put you in a spot where your two picks, you're back-to-back now.
We might have messed up here.
Uh-oh. He admits it.
Might have messed up because now Logan gets 2 picks, but I think we'll be all right.
So Shaq is now off the board. Well, I think this is a pretty obvious pick. I don't think anyone's going to blame me. With the third pick in the second round of the draft, Team Logan selects Kyrie Irving.
Come up on a minute remaining, and they're putting Curry in the pick and roll, trying to get him on Irving. Irving and Curry, one-on-one. Irving puts it up. It's good. Kyrie Irving from downtown.
Ooh.
And why wouldn't I take Kyrie? Man's an absolute bucket. Him and LeBron were so good together, even in the limited time they had. I think any basketball fan wanted to see these guys really flourish together and really, they could have been something special for years to come. So I'm taking Kyrie Irving here. Now, this is where things are interesting.
Yes, sir.
Very.
All signs would point towards me taking a big and getting a paint presence.
I would agree.
Maybe.
But I'm going to wait.
Okay.
In this situation, I'm going to take the best available player. And I warned you, Jeff, before this started.
That might be a hot take.
Do you want to make it pure position, or do you want to make it make your best freaking starting 5 and
make your best lineup?
So at my shooting guard, and he's not really a shooting guard, but I'm slotting him in there anyway.
I know who it is.
I'm taking the youngest ever, most valuable player, Derrick Rose.
I thought he might do that.
I'm looking at Kyrie, D Rose, and 2017, 2018 LeBron for Team Logan. When you talk about Derrick Rose, just an absolute animal. I haven't seen much better than him, especially at that age that he was, leading that Bulls squad to 60 wins. He was unbelievable. Always one of the saddest stories in the NBA, his injuries. He's rejuvenated now on Team Logan in his purest form with 2 running mates in Kyrie and LeBron. I'm going to worry about my bigs later.
Wow.
I got to respect that. I probably might have done the same exact thing.
I'll tell you what, very much what was going to be my next pick. Now I'm going to have to shift because he's taking 2 of the best guards. Obviously, Dwayne Wade was taken by Jeff, but This makes my decision a little bit harder. However, a person I was eyeing in contention with Derrick Rose, and we've been covering the Cavs this season pretty heavily, and the one thing that we've really enjoyed here is the narrative of Tower City, and so Logan's going a little bit of small ball. He likes the Warriors approach that they took a little bit. But I'm gonna give JB Bickerstaff his credit, and I'm gonna make my own Tower City. So with my third pick, I'm gonna fill the power forward position.
Ooh.
Larry Nance Sr.
Ooh. Larry Nance Sr.
Third leader in blocks for the Cavs all time. So I got Shaq and Larry Nance Sr. holding it down.
You're forward
in the middle,
set, man.
in
LeBron is 6'8", so you're outdoing JB. Honestly, if I could say so myself.
We'll see. But Jeff, now this is where we said this is going to start getting a little bit tougher, a little bit harder on us. I'm interested. You got your shooting guard, you got your small forward, and now you've been 3 picks waiting. Who's up?
So I think I'm going to take the absolute reverse approach that Logan is taking, because it's like, oh, you're giving your strategy out. No, I'm just going to, for the viewers, I'm just going to walk through what I'm thinking. I think at the end of the day, I could put LeBron at the 1 and sleep fine. It's not ideal, but it's like I could have LeBron bring the ball up the court every single time, and I really wanted Derrick Rose. I knew I wasn't going to be able to get Kyrie, but there's still good point guards out there, which is annoying to me. But I am going to maybe go with a controversial pick, but a pick that I think will get us over the top as far as defensively. And I am going to pick in the 3rd round, I am going to take prime Ben Wallace for my squad. Might be a little bit of a reach. But I basically, I feel like he's a better floor spacer than if I would have took Shaq in the 2nd round. And I don't know. I think that makes the most sense for me, and thinking that now that I have another pick to start off the 4th round. So we got.
Do we have a list of what we've drafted so far to see where we're at?
Yes, we do.
Wow.
Let's check this out.
Let's see where we are.
Let's see where we're at. Oh, okay. Here we go. So I'm filling out the teams below too. But as you can see, we got all the LeBrons, and then I have D Wade and Ben Wallace.
That's tough.
Where do I go from there is the question. I'm really trying to think outside the box and thinking, am I gonna put LeBron at the 1? Do I really want to commit to that idea? Because that idea could backfire. I could just go a lot of 2 point guards on the bench. Maybe I'm going to go with a hometown favorite. I'm locking in right here. Maybe another reach. But even if I could get him in college, if we're talking about his prime, I'm going with Austin.
No!
In the 4th round.
Austin
I'm
off
so
the board.
Rude. Wow. Goodness.
Sucks to be that 2nd pick, doesn't it?
It hurts. The back-to-backs, you think, oh, man, they have to wait 3 picks in order to go again.
Right.
But that back-to-back pick really just, it saves your butt so heavy. Can I – oh, man, that's tough, because now I've got to go and think I need a shooter. That's what I need. I got 3 big guys right now.
You do need
that
shooter.
I need a guard. So
mid-range shooter.
I'm thinking here, I gotta go get a guard. I gotta get someone that can handle the ball. I'm gonna go Mark Price.
Mark Price, good pick.
Mark Price.
Okay, we got some Cavs legends coming out here in round 4. I love that.
Well, guys, if you liked my backcourt,
oh gosh.
First pick is out the front court as well.
First pick's unreal.
So here we go. At the power forward, as you can see, I got Kyrie, I got Rose, I got LeBron. I think I need a little more shooting. And this guy in 2013, 2014, averaged 26 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists.
I think I know who he's talking about.
Cavalier guy through and through. I'm taking prime Kevin Love at my 4. I'm LeBron to 3. I'm going Kevin Love at the 4.
Here's the thing. To be honest with you, I that pick is fine, but I would have referenced him in Minnesota when I drafted him. I know he's been here longer, but he was getting like 20 boards in Minnesota, like a lot.
He was so good in Minnesota. That's what I'm taking is the 2013-2014 Kevin.
Yeah.
Minnesota. Yeah, 26, 12, and 4. When we got him, I was like, oh my God. Okay, well, that leaves a glaring hole at the center position. There's so many guards I can get later. I tell you what, a lot of you might think, oh, maybe Z because Cavalier legend. I love Z, but I need someone who's going to really, truly lock down my paint and someone that, like Z, can shoot the mid-range shot a little bit. I think people forget how good he was in L.A. I'm taking Andrew Bynum, prime Lakers. Andrew Bynum
made a 3-point attempt at the end of the game. But what are you doing here?
Well, the shot clock wasn't even close to being an issue. I mean,
at my center to fill out my 5.
Very good pick.
Whoa, that's a crazy team.
Very good team. Logan, what is Logan's current top 5 right now? What are his?
Kyrie, Rose, LeBron, Love, Bynum.
Oh boy, man! Oh man, that leaves me with trying to figure out what I'm gonna do.
It's looking 4 so far
in terms of point guard / shooting guard. I got my 3 through 5 good. Now I got to make a decision with Mark Price. Is he gonna be my ball handler and my shooter, or am I gonna go out and have to maybe make a huge reach on someone? I'm trying to think here. Ooh, boy. I would have to take a reach to go at shooting guard. I could go and grab an absolute legend somewhere at the point guard and maybe work around there. This is tough, guys. I'm not going to lie. Honestly, I knew that, there's going to be a little bit of a problem here for me. And now I'm going to just start going off the handlebar.
Okay.
We're going to go off the handlebar here.
I know who it is.
No, you don't. Well, listen, I very much was thinking of who I think we're thinking of, but I got to go a different direction at shooting guard.
Okay.
Go with another Cavs legend. Dude's name, Wild. I'm going World Be Free.
Okay.
World Be Free.
For my shooting guard.
On my big board.
A bucket. That's
going to be well received by the viewers. I would say.
Yeah, I would hope so.
World Be Free is a Cavs legend. Very correct. Well, you guys have totally messed up. You guys have allowed me to not play. Well, hold on. Let me figure out.
D Wade, Ben Wallace, Austin Hart, Jeff. What are you looking to do here?
I just don't want to.
Need the point guard.
I do need a point guard, but it's like, do I want a modern point guard or do I want an old school point guard?
You got some good point guards on the board there, Jeff. A lot of good ones.
You forced my hand. LeBron is going back to the. LeBron has went from my 1 to my 4 in one pick because I'm going with Walt Frazier. You guys left him out there for me as the point guard. So my 5 rounds out is Frazier at the 1, D Wade at the 2, Austin Carr at the 3, LBJ at the 4, and Ben Wallace at the 5. Not the tallest lineup. So I'm going to have to think about that potentially with my next pick.
You got some dogs on that team, though. That's some good defense as well.
Which is kind of annoying. But
well, I went really modern with my team, didn't I?
Very modern. That's what's going to be interesting. I think we're going to have old school. I think we're going to have modern.
They're going to hate me, I'll tell you what.
I am going to go with, and it's not even a center, but it's just somebody who I think that I'm going to want, and I'm shocked he's really not off the board yet, but I'm going to go with Shawn Kemp here.
Shawn Kemp.
As my first bench player.
Wow. See, the bench players is where we're really going to start getting into like debates of like, all right, does he fit this team? Does it really work? Does he make certain areas of what you were drafting for your starters pop out a little bit more? You look at Kevin Love for the current Cavs, a great 3-point specialist.
Right.
I'm looking at my team right now, and I'm, Mark Price, a good 3-point shooter. Maybe not the best, but I think I got to continue on that line of getting guys that I know can help me round this team out a little bit. Man, and this is tough because I'm thinking about going completely unproven guy right now. If you really look at the career, unproven guy. However, outside of guys remaining that aren't legends, I think this is a pretty obvious pick for me. Pretty obvious pick.
Okay.
I think
Your guy?
my guy, Darius Garland.
Oh my!
I wanted to grab him. Dang it.
First bench player. First time All-Star, third year in his career. Obviously, you can't really be like, man, that's a great pick because you look at the career, that's great, but playing the best version of these guys, and Darius Garland playing the best ball of his game right now, I think it's a pretty solid backup. Six man of this whole thing.
I think pairing him with the bigs makes sense too. Him with Shaq and Larry Nance.
Listen, I got Tower City. It's just not Evan Mobley and Jared Allen right now.
That might be an issue.
Okay, so here's my situation. Offensively, my team isn't going to be stopped. Here's the issue I'm having is defense, right? I need someone that's going to come in and just lock up the team's best player. The Matrix, Sean Marion, as my sixth man.
Really?
Ooh.
People forget how good he was in Phoenix, in Miami and Dallas. Guy was a 20-point per game guy, 7 to 8 rebounds, and was, I think his first team all defense a few times. He was always a fantastic defender. If the Cavs had gotten Sean Marion in his prime, that 2014-2015, Cavaliers, even minus Kevin Love, could have been amazing with Sean Marion sliding in there and filling that hole. It might be a surprise pick to a lot of people. I don't know what you guys think. I want to hear your thoughts real quick.
Sean Marion, absolutely I don't know, Logan. You've been picking pretty good, and I think you had some quality picks, but I think that first one's a mess up. I think that Sean Marion's a mess up right there.
We got a couple Seans in this round.
Because you got to think about it, Logan. Logan, the way you phrase it is he's got to come out and he's got to guard our best player. Well, I hate to break it to you. All of our best players are LeBron James. That's a pretty tough task.
I think
he's not lying.
At least Team Jeffrey, if LeBron can't shoot from the outside.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
So now, wow. Okay, that was not as Tyler. I thought I was like a genius for taking that play.
You might be. I don't know. It's past 5. It's going to be hard.
Listen, it's going to be up to the fans to tell us whose team is best. Exactly, and we're going to have to put like a poll out there after this video goes up and make sure that in the comments people are, saying who won or who's first, second, and third. But we'll get a good feeling for what everyone else has.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess now I need a pretty good bucket off my bench.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the guards again because there's just so many. I'm stuck between 2 players. Isaiah Thomas, MVP, 2014, fourth in MVP voting back in 2017.
Right.
I also have my eye on Baron Davis because he's a dog.
Ooh.
But I need someone to lead my second unit to be a ball handler because I have Kyrie, I have Derrick Rose. Do you know who I'm taking, Jeff?
Yeah, because I want to.
I don't know if you do. Are you thinking Rondo?
I am.
Oh,
well, I'm not thinking Rondo, Jeff. So he's still on the board.
I'm thinking of someone else.
I'm taking Darren Williams in his Utah Jazz days. Do people forget how good Darren Williams was? He was considered.
I gotta look it up.
Behind Chris Paul, people are calling him the second best point guard in the league.
So Darren Williams off the board. We're going to Justin, round 7. We have some controversial picks here. The back-to-back. Justin saying Sean Marion might have been a miss, but we're going to see if he could he's going to have to hit here after throwing down that smack talk.
I'm really going to have to hit here. And, my last 3 picks, all guards, I secured the front court very early on. And so, you're still looking at this team and you're like, I don't know. The scoring ability is going to be pretty iffy in some areas. So I got to go get another walking bucket. Who's that going to be? Well, had a hard time here. Honestly, had a hard time here. But Logan, he's going and he's grabbing dudes in their primes. He's taking the guys in their primes. And,
he is.
I got a little bit of time to go and look for myself and try to find some picks out there. It's tough. It's definitely tough. But 1-year Cavalier, Baron Davis.
Baron Davis right down the gut. Anderson came to block it.
Ooh,
There it is.
Baron
1-year
Davis.
Cavalier.
Underrated in the NBA landscape for sure.
Gotta get me some walking buckets.
When you have Shaq, you don't really need much more size. So, I mean,
Yeah.
that makes sense to go Garland and Davis.
Absolutely.
So right now, interesting team compositions. I feel totally depleted at the guard position. That's why this one was honestly very easy for me.
Ooh.
Prime Celtic Rajon
Rondo.
Rondo coming off the bench to replace Walt Frazier. I don't know if that's going to work, though, because I think I might have just locked my pick in, and it's going to be like now Celtic Rondo has to play with 09-10 LeBron. So I didn't think about that. Not that we're getting that deep, but maybe something to think about. And the last player, and of course, Logan, again, with a huge advantage of first going. I don't know if he did the math on this, but he gets the first pick of the coach.
I had to sleep on it and change my mind 8 times.
So I don't really know what to do here. There's a lot of people still on the board. Very, good history with this franchise, of course. And I'm thinking, oh, man, I don't know. Do I go sentimental for the last pick, or do I just try to really round it out and make it a super studded lineup?
Are you thinking about Z?
No, I feel like Z's going undrafted. Like, I love Z too. Cavalier, great, of course, but I just don't see him fitting in. Like, if you have, especially on I don't know. He could fit in, but I'm going to go with controversial pick because I'm not taking him in his prime. I'm putting an asterisk, and I'm not taking him in his prime. I'm taking him when he played for us just because of the weekend we just had and seeing him everywhere.
No.
Richard Jefferson is off
for the
board.
culture. For the culture.
Oh, that hurt.
No. This can't be. How many
God.
times is it going to happen to me?
No. Sucks.
I'm scrambling.
Yes. Yeah,
hold on.
No. Yes.
Great pick, Jeff. Great pick.
Hold on. Can I get it to go like this?
Oh no.
What are you trying to do? Trying to do a yes yet? Oh.
I'm losing it.
Yes.
Look at Justin's face, everyone.
Oh, no. Look at the war room. We're dialed into the war room right here.
Oh my God.
Logan, how are you doing? While Justin has to figure this out.
Man. I think I'm doing better than Justin is right now.
Oh no. Well, I'm screwed. I was thinking that was going to be such a underrated pick that I was going to go coach here and then pick Richard Jefferson after that because I didn't think anyone was thinking about it. So now I'm thinking I'm still going to go coach, but I don't know who I'm going to do as my backup pick now.
Save the coach, Justin. I think it's not going to matter who your coach is.
I was
going to
do
it's going to matter.
Last. No, it's not going to matter.
It's not going to matter.
But
These guys are going to listen to the coach anyway.
All right. But if Jeff's going and taking a guy, see, now I'm just convinced I have to go get a player that is good for my culture. It's good for the
big brain
of the culture. Oh, but this is a hard one because now I'm stuck between two people for the culture. Hold on, I need to do a quick stat check. I didn't think I was going to pick him. Hold on.
All right, we're rounding out other rosters here.
Oh goodness. Oh boy.
Check.
Guys, I am.
Who do you want, sir?
I'm absolutely stuck here. All right. If Jeff's going for a meme pick, not a meme pick, but a good for the culture pick, I'm doing it. I'm taking J.R. Smith. I'm letting him lay the pipe. It doesn't matter what's happening outside of my other 7 picks.
That's a great pick.
The pipe. My shooters. Last 3 picks, shooters.
What is he doing?
What is he doing? Pipe. He's laying the pipe, man. Listen, the culture, the bench, guys going crazy, doing the windmill after making a 3. My team's got spirit. That's all I know.
Yeah. Are you the lead cheerleader? Are you leading the cheers?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll be on that bench. You know how the guys have people pulling back and everything? They're going to do that for me.
That's
JR hits the court with Darius Garland. I'm going to be going nuts. All right, Jeff. Final pick.
Logan's got to round us out here.
For Logan, I'm sorry. No goodness.
Guys, I need to grab at least one classic player.
Oh,
and I can't believe he's fallen this far.
Oh, yeah.
Originally, I was thinking Carlos Boozer, because then I could put Boozer and Williams back together like they were on Utah to come off my bench. But I think I need a touch more size. And Boozer's, I think, a 6'8" guy.
Who's
I think
guarding
he's
my
only
Shaq?
trying to be smaller.
On either one
Who's
of your
guarding Shaq? Probably no one, Justin.
No.
Yeah.
But this is who I'm taking.
Yeah.
I think I'm taking Brad Daugherty with my last pick in my team.
Okay.
That rounds it out.
Don't mind that at all.
Now we're on to the coaches. Ooh.
Hopefully I spelled that right. I'm not certain, but
I think you did. Maybe you check it so the fans don't rip us apart.
DAUGHERTY.
Nobody rip us apart.
So
I didn't see that.
So ERTY, Jeff.
All right.
Beautiful.
Tough one there.
All right, coaches. Here we go. I can't really get upset about this one. I mean, this is just like, hey, if you want to pay Mike Brown for 5 years that he hasn't been here, who's going to do that one, huh?
As long as you're not taking Beeline, I think you're good.
Wait a minute, Justin. Does Justin get
David Blatt?
David Blatt. I'd rather have you take Blatt over Beeline. I mean, I think we were 14-10 with Beeline though. So.
Oh my goodness. All right. So Logan, the coach for your team, who's it gonna be?
Is it unfair that I get the first pick of coaches too?
No,
it's not gonna make that big.
Totally fair.
I'm taking this guy because I think he'd be a great players coach.
Okay.
And I also think he's a fairly good proven winner. He's a point guard. I'm not saying Tyronn Lue. You guys know how I feel about Tyronn Lue. I'm taking Lenny Wilkins as the head coach of Team Logan.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
2 classics at the end here, just to round it out.
Love that at the end.
So I don't think this really, makes too much of a difference. I was gonna just do it out of the sake of doing it.
Since that Richard Jefferson.
Dude, the Richard Jefferson pick was godly. It was so good, but I think I'm just gonna go with the easy pickings here. I'm just gonna go George Karl.
Coach
don't know that his best basketball was coached in Cleveland, but
it was not.
Great.
He had the problem with every single player. He always got driven out of town because he was a lot of things. George Karl was, but at the end of the day, he had pretty successful teams later in his career.
Sounds like a real Cleveland coach for any franchise.
I think he fits in right where he needs to be.
I kind of love finishing up as the 3rd overall pick because it's just like I don't have to do anything too spectacular. Just let people fall into my lap. I'm going with the OG, the rest in peace, Bill Fitch. Just recently passed away.
Very nice pick.
A great, just he's basically the start of the coaching prowess for our Cleveland Cavaliers. So that was pretty easy for us. We've honestly had some pretty, high level head coaches. We haven't really been around that long. When you do research into a team, like your own team, you really kind of realize hey, we do have a lot of good players who have been in a Cavs uniform, but it's kind of interesting to see who the coaches are and all the way down to your 7th and 8th round picks. So let's go team by team here. Let's figure this out. And Logan, I'm going to start with you, of course, with your team. You have Daugherty and then Lenny Wilkins as your head coach. Tell us about your draft strategy. Did it work? Did you think you could have done anything better? And things like that.
Absolutely. So I took LeBron 17-18. Like I said, I think he's the best leader. I think Kyrie is, people will say Dwayne Wade was his best teammate, and he was. And especially if you consider them both in their primes. But I'm thinking injury-riddled Dwayne Wade. Those last 2 years in Miami weren't as good. They still led to wins, don't get me wrong. But at the end of the day, I think Kyrie, really, obviously Anthony Davis is never a Cavalier. So Kyrie was really special, and he was, just entering his prime. And then the next pick was purely so Justin couldn't have Shaq, Rose, and LeBron. So I think that team might have won, to be honest with you.
Yes.
I had to get a little bit out of the store. It's taking a true point guard at the shooting guard and Derrick Rose. I think Kyrie they have 3 ball handlers. I can already foresee that one problem right now. I think my team defensively is a little bit lacking. And I also think there's almost too many ball handlers to the point that it might get a little confusing out there. Kevin Love was an easy pick to me because he's just a stretch big. I needed some more shooting, and Andrew Bynum is the defensive dynamo. Now, Sean Marion, I don't care what Justin says, I think he's a fantastic player, and he's one of the better players. I mean, when you talk about defense, when you talk about getting you, off the bench, say I'm playing him off my bench. He gets about 24 minutes, right? I bet Sean Marion in his prime was putting up 15 and 7 in that time and locking down the team's best player. Darren Williams, I needed somebody to lead my bench. I already have a ton of ball handlers, but I think a guy that can run that unit is the way to go. And then finally, I thought Boozer. I thought better and took Daugherty simply because, Cavalier legend and Boozer did us dirty, for being totally honest. Lenny Wilkins, the perfect coach for this team. I think having the first pick, it's very clear you have quite the advantage. But, I think at the end of the day, these teams are constructed a certain way for a certain reason. On paper, it might look like I have some of the bigger names, especially for our audience who are younger and know all these players, because I took a lot of the more recent players. But at the end of the day, it's about strategy and construction. And I think both, Justin and Jeff did a fantastic job of, locking up some of the things that make my team good.
So great analysis there. I'm trying to put Justin's team in, and his team is, I think it's very good, but we're
gonna need some explanations here. Right?
I think I did this correctly. You're gonna have LeBron at your small forward.
Yep.
Okay. So that's the team construction I was going for. If there's anything that needs changed around, you let me know. But let's talk on it.
All good. So listen here. So obviously, a couple of my picks were stolen from me very clearly. There was some tampering going on before the draft. Jeff was hearing things. Logan was hearing things of what I wanted to do. And so they obviously went out and sabotaged me.
Sources, yeah.
I got LeBron first, and I was very much expecting Shaq to be the first player taken after LeBron.
So was I. I was really shocked there, Jeff.
I was expecting to have Miami LeBron and Miami Dwayne Wade. Already know how that went. Ended up in a couple championships. Would have been great, but have to shift and went with Shaq. Shaq was a great pick. Then Logan obviously tampers again and steals Derrick Rose and Kyrie. Seriously, just derailing what I was going for with trying to set up another Tower City. But I got that anyways, because then I went Larry Nance Sr., and now my front court is established. I got 3, 6, 8 and above guys as my starting 3, 4, and 5. Great picks. Then I had to shift a little bit. There aren't a lot of great shooters after the guys that were taken up to this pick. Mark Price, great shooter, but also a good passer. World B. Free, another walking bucket for his time with the Cavs. Then I had to go a little bit modern. I had to go get my boy, Darius Garland, playing great basketball, most improved player. Could be a MVP in the future if you view the award how it should be. And I had to go get more walking buckets. So I had to go get Baron Davis and J.R. Smith. But I had to get the guy to lay the pipe against Richard Jefferson. You look at Jeff making the pick for Richard Jefferson and absolutely sabotaging what I was going to do as a last pick. Love Richard Jefferson. His TikToks are hilarious. But Jeff just goes and steals my chemistry guy. So I have to go and I have to get the next best chemistry guy.
I don't even like Jeff.
Listen, tampering. Dude. The tampering's incredible here. We're going to have to take away a pick from him next year and maybe 2 picks down the future. Going to need some compensation for all that. Going to have to fine him. But at the end of the day, George Karl, he's kind of there. Don't know how he's going to react with JR laying the pipe. But at the end of the day, I think my rosters – you listen, no one's going to battle my team physically. My team is physically dominating.
You're right.
It's amazing. Shaq, Larry Nance Sr., LeBron, 2012, 2013 LeBron, most physically dominant LeBron version I think there is. Yep. I think I have a pretty great team. I think it's the best. The greatest, maybe. Some would say the greatest. We'll see how it goes.
I'm putting these teams together, and this is the most high energy I've seen this kid in a month, ever since a while ago. But I'm just putting this. I'm putting this together, and it's just making me laugh internally, thinking about Richard Jefferson. Just imagine they played each other. Imagine Richard Jefferson on a switch or just trying to guard Shaq. Like, all right, well, I'm in trouble there. Here's my philosophy. Had no idea what I was doing from the point guard position for the majority of the draft. And then I end up with Frazier and Rondo, not the best, not the most, not the deepest point guard team. But when you have LeBron, when you have a player like Dwayne Wade, we see it all year when it comes to the Cavs. Just think modern Cavs. It's like, wow, if we had another competent ball handler, we'd probably be so good. So when you draft players like this, Austin Carr, even just guys who aren't even point guards could competently handle the basketball. It makes it so much easier to put together teams. I think this was probably one of the best and most fun we've had doing a video. So I think it was, I think it's something we're going to have to, maybe revisit in the past, maybe just do, players when they were on the Cavs. I think that would be way harder. Just take away the primes. But I think these are all world championship teams pretty easily.
Oh yeah.
Can I kind of list off all the names that weren't taken that we thought about?
Yes,
absolutely.
For point guards, Isaiah Thomas, Ron Harper, Mo Williams, Andre Miller, Lenny Wilkins. Obviously, he was taken as a coach, not as a player.
Mm-hmm.
Shooting guards, there's actually been less great shooting guards than I thought there would be. Kyle Korver, Ringo Smith, and Larry Hughes is also kind of on the bubble. When it comes to small forwards, the only guy I had left on my board was Luol Deng, who was a very good player for Chicago, very solid. Power forwards, Carlos Boozer, Antoine Jameson, and Hod Williams. And centers, I hated to leave him on the board, but Zydrunas Ilgauskas, Bogut, who played exactly 2 minutes for the Cleveland Cavaliers, and Bill Laimbeer. And he was real good in Detroit. Honestly, I thought about taking Laimbeer to kind of mess with Shaq a little bit. Not that he could have stopped Shaq, but he could have at least pissed him off a little bit.
I was definitely thinking about taking Z at the end there, but I had to respond to the Richard Jefferson pick. I had to respond in the best way I knew how. People can argue in the comments. That JR, there's not a great version of prime JR, except that, he's a meme-worthy guy. He's a chemistry guy. Laying the pipe is going to be my all-time quote on this team. It's going to be how we break the huddle.
Is that the team name?
No, it's not the team name. It's just the team motto. Lay the pipe.
Gotcha.
And we're going to have a good time out here. But that was fun. That was a lot of fun.
That's fun. I do agree, Logan. I think Laimbeer, probably the biggest snub. I think people are going to be upset we maybe didn't take Harper. But
Ron Harper, I really thought about it.
Yeah.
I really did.
I mean, just some good players,
there's so many good players.
Yeah, you can't draft everybody, and watching the NBA, if you've watched the NBA, putting a bunch of talent together sometimes doesn't work. So I think it's interesting that we got some greats in there. Like, honestly, like Sean Marion in the 6th round, I don't know if probably a little early, but like for the culture, for glue, I think that was a good pick. And then you go Doherty at the end, which is good. JR. The last round is my favorite with Doherty, JR, and Richard Jefferson. So, what else? Do we got anything else before we call this one a quit?
No, we just got to make sure that, comment down below. You got to lay the pipe first. Then you got to tell everyone down below that my team laying the pipe is the best team. And we got to rank it. We got to have votes. We got to have people comment and let us know who was the best pick where? Who was the best pick where?
Right.
Who has the best team composition? And, let us know what you guys thought. Make sure that you're letting us know that if you enjoyed it and all that. Oh,
yeah, definitely get active in the comments, guys. I'd like to hear. Even call us stupid. I think it'd be kind of funny. There's plenty of times where I kind of felt stupid. That team is so overloaded that it might be bad in a way. Let us know if we could do differently. What other fantasy drafts you guys would like to see? Any other of these videos that you think could be fun for us to do? Definitely give us some suggestions. And I had a lot of fun with this. Justin had me crying there for a little bit, and I like when Justin gets worked up and rolling like that.
It doesn't happen too often, but when it does,
definitely think of some ideas for videos that would get Justin worked up, and we'll be happy to do it.
Oh yeah.
Well, boys, great job. Not a Cavs Encapsulated, still the Cavs Encapsulated crew. You're rocking with the Cleveland Pulse, and all the legends, all the greats aside, make sure before we catch you in the next video that you let them know.